lesson comes also from God, because when I was starting to live in the desert alone, I was thinking about the cave, how I will make it, where I will make the place for prayer. I was making some plan about it. Nowadays, I find that even I don't care about all of that.
Yeah.
Now I pray anywhere, I sleep anywhere, because it's not so important now. In the first days, I was thinking about those things.
Think about it, how you arrange it and how you establish yourself.
But now I am more concerned to concentrate on the interior life.
Yeah.
At that time, I was thinking that the exterior was important to help me, but maybe like just to help you walk with a stick for a while, and then you can throw it away.
Then you can throw it away.
Yeah.
And this is why I think for the monks it's very important when they started their life. Okay, they can establish their accommodation, but then they should leave the accommodation completely and forget it, and take care of the other things. And this means it will take the monk from the things which is, it will take his time and take his energy and take his thinking, and leave all that and start to think about.
Because there's a famous saying which many people know, that sit in your cell and your cell will teach you everything.
Yes.
But even this saying is not enough. You should add something, that if you sit in your cell, you will forget your cell. If you stay alone in your cell for a long time, the cell will become unimportant, because you will start to know God face to face.
It's like Saint Sarah, when she lived in her cell. She never see her ceiling for 60 years, living in a cell, without
raising her eyes.
Yeah, I mean without seeing the cell. There's something very strange, which means, okay, if you are living in a cell, don't care about this. And this is why the cells, if you look to the cells of the early fathers, now we are doing such an excavation in Wadi Natun for one of the early cells of the Jum the Short monastery. It's very interesting, because what do they have in the cell? It's something beautiful. First, they establish a good cell, which means there is a place for praying, place for cooking, place for meetings. But the good thing is how is the beauty of the cells. Very simple, but there is a beauty. The structure is from mud brick, covered with very simple plaster, but it's painted. And
inside?
Yes, painted inside, like church. Which means when the monks live in the early cells, it seems to me that they think that they're living in a church. And this is why they painted the cells, and you can find also in some other places like Saint Germain Monastery or Bawit Monastery. They found that inside the cell there is a niche, small niche, with Pantocrator or Saint Mary, like the church exactly. Which means the monk is living inside his cell, feeling that he is in a church, to behave like in a church, to respect the cell. It was very interesting, and it was a lot of painting inside, everywhere, completely painted cell. Wow, living in a painted cell, like a heaven. Like a heaven. And how they put Christ and Mary in front of them all the time. This is also gives an idea how the early fathers think about the monastic life.
If you surround yourself with the things which remind you of your death, your facing God, your judgment, if you surround yourself with icons and pictures which teach you these spiritual lessons, you will not be thinking about your life and your... So if you fill your cell with it, because you're supposed to stay in your cell. Those monks who are living in the monastery and go to the church every day, this is a work. You go to the church. This is an action which you have to do it, a spiritual action. But when you are living in the cell alone, You have to bring the church inside you. Inside you,
Yeah, because they are living far from the church. They have to bring the church inside. Yeah. And that's why they use, oil lamps and candles and painting and icons and all the things, and writing prayers on the walls. Yeah, it's very interesting, very nice. But really, the early fathers, if you think about them, how they was thinking and how they established the monk's life. How St. Anthony came here alone. How he was thinking, walking in a desert for 3 days, and he knew that there is nothing in the desert.
Where are you going?
Where? Where is the food? Where is the water? Where I'm going? Walking in a desert, like walking in a sea.
No, but Abuna, I'm sure it was with St. Anthony the same, but I know that there's a story about one man who was worried about his sins, and he felt that he was carrying on his back a heavy burden, a heavy load, and he couldn't lift up his eyes to enjoy the world. He couldn't relax with his family because he was thinking that he is carrying this heavy load on his back, and this was his sins. The load of his sins was on him. So I think that many of those early fathers, from what I read, they lived every day seriously with the knowledge of their sins and how they are not worthy of God. They don't know if God will see them well or ill, if He will love them or if He will hate them. They don't know. So they live hard life, and they deny themselves many things in the monastery and in the cells, so that God will see that they are carrying their repentance. They are showing themselves sorry for their sins.
And I think they are trying to satisfy God, because they feel that their sins it make God angry, not happy.
Sadden Him,
Sadden Him.
Yeah.
They are trying to satisfy Him, to make Him happy.
Yeah.
And I think it was something of very strong challenge between monks. Why, why everyone is trying to do more, to offer more? Why? In a very strong way. I mean, like some Paul from Tamur, in his story said he was trying to do all these ascetic practices till God appeared to him and said, enough. What does mean enough? If God appeared to someone and said enough, which means he is doing something incredible to make him happy. And I think God was trying to say, okay, I'm so happy enough. I'm so happy, stop it. You are doing something which I cannot I cannot see it.
This is the famous balance between mercy and justice.
Yes.
Okay, to satisfy God's justice, we must to sacrifice ourselves. But God is also merciful, and at some point He will accept enough. The sacrifice is enough. Thank you.
Exactly. Don't give more. No, really, and this shows how the love of God. I mean, He's not living with us as a judge. No, I never feel God He's the judge. No, He is our love. I mean, He is a love, but He's our love. I mean, to live with Him, and I think love can make you thinking how and what you would like to give Him. And this is why they gave Him. Because as much as you give, as much as you receive. Because when you feel God is happy,
her sins are forgiven because she loved much.
Yes.
No, St. Anthony said, I no longer fear God because I love Him.
Yes.
Yeah, the love.
I love Him. The love
cast out the fear.
Yes, outside. Yeah. And this is what the people missed. They missed love. If we say that the early monks, they went to the desert because they loved God, okay, but do you think if we would like to show our love, is it only to go to the desert? I didn't think so.
No.
Not only to live in a desert.
No.
In a desert, this is the you cannot say the maximum, but this is one way of showing love. And one way of showing love in a practice life, in a hard way. But the people, I think, they need to show love anywhere, with anybody.
But I think, Abuna, it's also a wish to be sure that you are doing enough. You know, if a man marries and he has his wife and his children, and he has the family of his wife and his own family, his mother and father, the family is extended. There is a lot of obligations, social obligations, a lot of commitment. He has to work, his wife works, he has to teach his children, to send them to school. He is doing a lot of things to build up life. Okay, he tries to build it in a Christian way, with love, with respect for his wife and children, with concern for his parents, with honor to his parents-in-law, with the respect to the government or to his superior. So he tries to live in a Christian way, but he is still living with God is here and he is here, and there is something in the middle. This is the family life. But the monk, he put out this one and just face to face.
These two to face him.
Yeah, this is hard. See, if you put the other one in the middle, then if God jump over and say, what have you done? He says, oh, look, I concentrate on this. Okay, you did this. You take out this one. And what God said to him? I saw you face to face every day for 40 years. Yeah?
Yes.
This is a deep knowledge. So I think it is a hard road, but for me, I choose it because I want this face-to-face struggle. I don't want anything in the middle.
Yes,
no.
all the monks, this is why all the monks
No
left
distractions.
their families, they left everything, and they follow God.
So sure, you can love God through your family, but when you want this face-to-face, powerful knowledge of God, like I see you now.
Yeah.
If somebody tell me, you know Father Maximos, I know him, but that's not the same. Now I see you.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is like to see God every day. This is very.
To see God and to be in touch with God and trying to create the relation